Generation student.
Try to turn it up a
little bit.
Yeah, perfect, great, thank you. And what's your name again?
Alondra.
Nice to meet
Alvarez.
you.
Yeah. So I just had a question, because you talk a lot about like protecting and securing our southern borders with the idea that immigrants are criminals or drug dealers and things like that. So I just want to hear what your opinion is on those expectations or those those stereotypes that are put on Hispanic communities, Latino communities, and how they change the way people perceive immigration.
Democracy.
Do
Sure.
you feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself? Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a vote?
When I hear about like the Haitians in Ohio taking over cities, and the thing about eating people's pets, I don't know if that's true.
It is true.
But I was wondering if you could speak a little bit on that specifically, and I'm kind of torn on the election, so if you could also speak on if we have more instances like that in the future, if Kamala Harris gets voted.
Yeah, it's a great, first of all, thank you for coming up to the mic, and I want to try to win you over as a liberal for Donald Trump. So you're going to give me a chance, okay?
I will, sir.
All right, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just have a question kind of based on affirmative action. Not only does affirmative action like help, minorities, people of color, but also women in general. In their cars, the seatbelt is made specifically for the male body. They're only tested with male mannequins, so a lot of women are in risk of dying in car crashes at a higher rate. And I was just wondering, without affirmative action, how do you think we can bring these people in to bring a variety of opinions?
Yeah. About that, well, first question, why can't marriage be allowed with two men or two women? That question got me.
How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you doing? Good. My first question it relates with Donald Trump's morals and characters. Morals and character. Excuses are often made for him, but that has not been the case for most presidents, and I'd like to discuss that with you. Donald Trump has continuously shown low morals and poor character, and I understand that you are a pretty strong evangelical Christian, is that correct? And I don't think Donald Trump exemplifies strong Christianity, so I'd like to know what you think about that.
So, but we must be very clear that the type of immigration that we support is when you follow our rules and you come on our terms, and we should not put up with that. Are you a voter?
I am a voter.
Oh, so I vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah? Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Than a professor talking to you? Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone. That is a true open mind, so I appreciate that. Number one, we have accepted 5% of the Haitian population in this country in the last couple years. I have nothing against Haitians. I know some Haitians. We can all agree when you accept 5% of any country's population, in addition to all the other mass migration we have, it's too much, it's unsustainable, and a government must start from this core premise. It must have an obligation to fulfill a better life for its own citizens before it opens its border to non-citizens. Affirmative action, for example, the Harvard case showed that it was nearly 40% lower test scores for people of color versus their white male counterparts.
What causes that? Do you think it's just because people of color are more stupid?
No, of course not.
Right.
I mean, people of color come from lower socioeconomic backgrounds that don't prioritize education.
So how do we fix those socioeconomic statuses?
Right, that's an interesting point. Not should we try to penalize white males that are competent to go run our systems and our institutions. So those are two different things. Right. So what we're doing is our institutions are now becoming less excellent. Our country is not working like it used to because we basically told people that are very qualified and very competent that, sorry, we're not going to put a position for you here. Yeah, so I mean, allowed and what it is are two different things. So again, just strictly from what marriage has always been is the idea of two separate parts coming in a union to be able to have, hopefully, a lifelong partnership to raise kids, adopt kids, or have kids, and to become better versions of themselves. It is the attraction of opposites. And so if you want to redefine marriage, that's fine, that's your contention, but I take a classical view of marriage.
Based on, what is that based on what? The Bible?
The natural law.
Is that the Bible?
Well, natural law is separate than the Bible, but it's harmonic with the Bible, that's correct.
Okay.
So, great question. So are you a Christian? I just want to know by what standard you're judging him.
I personally am not a Christian.
Okay, so that's interesting to me. Why do you then care about what Christians think of Trump if you yourself are not a Christian?
Well, I believe Christianity still does play a great role in this country.
Fair enough. No, I just want to know by what standard you're judging him. That's fine. So when we're selecting a leader, all of us are sinners. All of us have problems. His character flaws are definitely public for those that can see it. I will say, though, that he has a lot of virtues. Would you say he has any virtues?
What basis are you saying? What virtues do you think he
courage.
possesses? Okay, courage, I think.
Like if you and I got shot, how would we react?
Well,
during a speech by right-wing activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University in Orem. This happened really just moments ago. Kirk was about 20 minutes into his speech when shots were fired from a nearby building. According to the university, there are reports that Kirk was hit, but as far as they know,